I think, and then there's things like alcohol where it's like, you'll have like, it's funny, like Andrew Huberman, example, he has a whole podcast about it, and in the entire podcast, really, the entirety of it is telling you how horrible it is for your body. But at the same time, he's going, I'm not anti-alcohol. I'm not speaking against alcohol.
And that's something about him that you'll see in in most of his interviews and most of his podcasts. He tries to make sure he takes the approach that he says, I'm not condemning this. If this is what you do, I'm not fixing to sit here and tell you that you're going to die.
What you see is what doctors, all doctors will do that.
Yeah, it's a disclaimer.
Generally, your doctor will be telling you, like, listen, you shouldn't do it. But if you're going to do it, do this. It's like if you take pork. Like pork, this just has these worms in it. Right? It's like, people know that. We know that. It's like scientifically proven. Trichnis has eggs. It has these worms in it. Nobody should be eating worms. But I tell you, like, well, listen.
Well, they're parasitic worms that will actually...
Yeah. If you're going to... you should eat worms in general. I'm just trying to tell you, some worms, the non-parasitic kind.
The non-parasitic ones are okay.
Those are the best.
Perfect. But you gotta say
I'm saying how much worse it is because they're parasitic and will actually invade your body.
Most doctors recommend non-parasitic ones.
Yeah.
But they'll say, well, listen, if you're going to do it...
If you like the amount of worms that you eat in like ketchup or something from smushed tomatoes, that's a different kind of worm.
Yeah. And it's smushed. Smushed worms, everyone knows. Smushed worms are no longer a threat.
Oh, that was a worm. Chill out. It was smushed.
Listen, it was mashed.
Right.
Because of your mashed potatoes. So this is basically what occurred in the community, in the health scientific community. It was like, basically, okay, well, if you're going to eat pork, you need to heat it past this.
That's what I was trying to do. Yeah.
Which we can go into the science about how that doesn't really kill them, but specifically the eggs. But you run into a lot of situations like that where it's just like the people themselves,
they're going to do it anyways.
Right. It's like with cigarettes. The people they'll tell them you shouldn't smoke cigarettes.
Give them the best option.
Try vape. Well, now vape is
worse.
Yeah. So it's like the people themselves have the things that they want to do, and the doctors are kind of just like, it's not like, it's not, because the way you described it, it's not like the doctors are there.
Yeah, not always.
Let me get as much money.
No, that's not what I was meaning.
It's more like,
I was trying to explain
let me just try to help you survive, because you're not actually doing what I tell you to do in the first place. When I tell you, a lot of the doctors, when I tell you shouldn't do this, you're going to keep.
But for example, like the one you were talking about, they probably was endorsed somewhat with money, to recommend that.
There's actually a whole, what's the guy's name? Is it the guy, I believe he was related to Sigmund Freud. There's a whole...
Robert Freud.
No, not Robert Freud. Dang it. Bernays. Google. Is it Edward Bernays?
Edward Bernays, the creator of the Bernays sauce.
Let me look it up.
You don't like Bernays sauce?
But so
I don't know what it is. No.
So also, like, with that logic or with the legitimacy issue, it seems like people who are deemed to be on all fronts legitimate, or even on certain fronts legitimate, they'll be speaking to their base, and like you said, it'll be like, they'll trash talk smoking, or they'll be like, okay, they'll present why smoking is bad for you, and then they'll be like, and I'm not telling you not to smoke. I'm not trying to like say you don't smoke, it's all your choice. But because of that legitimacy issue, people will choose not to smoke just because the person who they deem to be like,
okay, I get what you're saying.
So here's the thing, dude. People are complex, because I think the reason they do that is at the same time that people are herd animals, herd humans.
Right.
And, if everybody's okay with it, then it's okay. At the same time, if you tell them not to do something, they get mad at you.
Yeah.
Like, telling me not to smoke. And it's like, they say it about boys, but I think it's everybody. But with boys, specifically, like if you tell a young boy not to do something, that's the first thing he's going to do.
Yeah.
Don't touch the stove.
Touch the stove.
So it's interesting how complex we are, because we'll do all these things, like, well, the doctors, they said it. But at the same time, if you come in and go, don't do this, who are you to tell me what to do? I'm going to go and do it.
So I got the thing about cigarettes.
All right, what were you saying?
So Edward Bernays, the guy, he was known as, the master of propaganda in the United States. But nephew to Sigmund Freud is who I was talking about. So cigarettes, this is from theconversation.com, and I'm just going to start reading sort of in the middle of the article here. It says, Bernays acquired an impressive list of clients ranging from manufacturers such as General Electric, Procter & Gamble, and the American Tobacco Company, the one we're highlighting, to media outlets like CBS and even politicians. His publicity campaigns were the stuff of legend. To overcome sales resistance to cigarette smoking among women, he staged a demonstration having fashionable young women flaunt their torches of freedom. So he's playing on the ego and the mental state, especially, you had the feminist movement coming out at the time and the women's rights and things like that. In the 1930s, he promoted cigarettes as both soothing to the throat and slimming to the waistline. But at home,
Actually,
when you can
Long
promote,
term, when you get cancer.
Yeah.
It's under the waistline.
but the way you can promote things and get people to, jump on the bandwagon. But at home, Bernays was attempting to persuade his wife to kick the habit. When he would find a pack of her parliaments in their home, he would snap every one of them in half and throw them in the toilet. While promoting cigarettes as soothing and slimming, Bernays, it seems, was aware of some of the early studies linking smoking to cancer.
And he's an example of a person.
Yeah.
And even to him, I think it probably was just like this business. But he's an example of a person who's knows something is wrong and or is bad and is pushing it. The same thing occurred with sugar and fats and the fats which we talked about, where the sugar companies paid doctors to say that it was fat that was making everybody fat and not sugars.
Right.
And now when as things, and that's the positive part about this whole information is the information is more accessible.
Yeah, you have the access to the information.
Just how
and can prove it and double prove it and all these other things.
Listen, guys, we're doing great things here at the Lamplight Productions, and you can be a part of it for the low price of $0.00. Because all you gotta do is subscribe, ring the bell, ding dong. You can't go wrong, or don't. It's a free country. Do whatever you want. Though I don't know how you can live with yourself.